Hi everyone, how are you? New Zealand's borders has just opened a few days ago for workers, so I thought I'd make a quick video explaining the new accredited employer work visa and the main requirements you need to meet to be granted this visa. So I'm going to try and break it down onto what the employer needs to do correctly and what the applicant, the worker, needs to do correctly. So on the employer's side, the employer needs to be accredited, and they need to be accredited under the new system. So previously we had an old accredited employer system in New Zealand. We now have a completely new accredited employer system that's just opened. Employers need to get accredited under the new system. Even if they hold accreditation under the old system, they still need to go ahead and get accredited under the new system. So if you were to go on the Immigration New Zealand website and you look at the list of accredited employers, I think pretty much everyone on that list is just employees accredited under the old system. So you need to actually make sure that any employer you find will get accredited under the new system. And the process is not too difficult, it's pretty fast. Takes about 2 to 4 weeks for it to be granted, and it's a pretty straightforward process for the employer to apply for the accreditation. They can apply online, it's pretty quick and fast. The more difficult thing the employer needs to do is they need to advertise nationally to try and recruit New Zealanders first. Now that's not for every job. Exceptions are if you have a job on the green list and you meet the requirements of the list. So the requirements are usually qualifications and or work experience and or professional registration. So if your job's on the green list and you meet the exact requirements of the list, then your employer doesn't need to advertise. Or if you're getting paid 2 times median wage, so if the job offer is for twice the median wage in New Zealand, most people won't get that, but if they do, then in that case the employer doesn't need to advertise either. But for most other people, the employer will need to advertise. It needs to be on a national website such as Seek or Trade Me, and it needs to be for 14 days. 14 calendar days, not business days. And they can't just run any ad, they need to run an ad with very specific requirements, because the immigration officer will see the ad and they need to tick off that it's been done correctly. And the main things the employer needs to put are obviously the job title, the location, the minimum wage, the maximum wage. They need to guarantee at least 30 hours per week, and they need to put the qualification and work experience requirements on the ad, and they'll need a job description. That's the main things. There's a whole list of things that need to go on the ad, and that needs to be run for 14 days. Once that's run, the employer can then proceed with the job check process. So for the job check process, that's another application to the government, and what needs to happen is they need to show the advertising and they need to show the employment agreement that's compliant with New Zealand employment law. So they give all their details, they put it in with the job check application, and that application takes maybe 2 to 4 weeks to be approved. And once that's done, then the candidate or the worker, the migrant worker, can proceed with the work visa application. So there's quite a few more steps for the employer to do under this new system. It used to be a lot easier, but now, the employer has to get through each step correctly. Otherwise, you won't be able to get a work visa. Now, on the candidate side, so on the applicant side, the worker's side, the requirements are still pretty similar as we've previously had. So obviously you need to meet character requirements, and you might require police certificates. You need to meet health requirements, and you'll need to get a medical and chest x-ray done at an approved clinic. You need to be qualified for the job, you need to have the right qualifications and work experience for the job, and that should actually match with the ad. So when the employer advertised, you need to show that you actually have the qualifications and work experience required by that ad. So you need to meet that minimum requirement of work experience or qualifications on the ad. You need to show that on your visa application. But that's the 3 main things there. And once all that's put together, everything from the employer side, everything from the migrant side, the worker side, you put it all together, do the work visa application, hopefully it gets approved. Immigration New Zealand has indicated maybe they can approve these visas within 30 days. That might be a little bit optimistic. I'd expect 1 to 2 months, maybe even more. But hopefully this new system goes smoothly and everyone who has a job offer can quickly get a work visa approved. Anyway, I hope this short video was helpful. I will be posting more videos in the future when I have more updates. The other thing people should know, if you're not interested in working in New Zealand, if you want to visit or study, New Zealand's borders will open on 31st of July. So from 31st of July if you want to apply for a student visa or a visit visa, but currently they're still closed. So if you're offshore and you want a student visa or a visit visa, you can't apply yet. The borders have just opened for the applicants who are offshore applying for work visas. Anyway, yeah, if the short video was helpful, please like, please share, please subscribe, and I'll see you all later.